All right, everyone, come on, let's gather around. It's time to start our meeting. Do we have any newcomers in the meeting today? Yes, you, sir. Hi, my name is Welcome to Me, and I'm addicted to buying food. Right on, my brother. Keep on coming back. Keep on coming back, baby. You got it, baby. Keep on coming back. We're happy to have you here. Keep coming back. Welcome to me, I'm here, and today I want to talk to you about my addiction to buying food. Like many people, I'm addicted to what are called bliss foods. Now, these bliss foods are foods or meals that have been specifically designed to give you a sense of bliss or euphoria. How many of you can relate to biting into something? Usually for me, it's something sweet, but it's like you bite into it and just this like peace and calm just goes down your body. Especially after work for me, I have been into foods that have literally changed my entire mood. What's happening here is the brain is rewarding you for eating. The brain knows that when a person eats, they're doing something right, surviving. So it releases a reward chemical, dopamine, into the reward system to make you feel good about doing the things you're supposed to do. The problem is that these food manufacturers have hacked this reward system by designing these bliss foods, foods that are just sweet enough, just salty enough, and just fatty enough that when you bite into them, you get a rush of dopamine. But what happens over time is as you continually to get that rush of dopamine coming in, the body says, oh, I don't need to make as much dopamine as I used to. And so your natural dopamine levels start to drop down. And so what happens is you crave those foods and that brings you back up to your base point. And that's a thing called tolerance. And when you try to go without those junk foods, then your dopamine levels lower and you're in something called withdrawal. And the dance between tolerance and withdrawal is called addiction. But if you remember, I didn't say I was addicted to junk food, which for the record, I am. I said, hi, my name is Welcome to Me, and I'm addicted to buying food. For reasons I can't really explain, even though I just kind of explained it, the act of actually buying food releases even more dopamine for me. Now, I used to play around and say I was addicted to buying food, or I was addicted to fast food, or addicted to McDonald's, because I am. But I never really took it serious until I watched another self-development YouTuber. His name is Better Ideas. And I'm gonna link that video in the description below. And listen, I know every time I say I'm gonna link something in the description, I never do it, but this time I'm gonna do it. In his video, he talked about you leave work and you go to McDonald's because you have an addiction. And that was the first time I was like, wait a minute, this is happening to somebody else? This is a thing? Like I couldn't believe it. And so it really made me start to look at this as an addiction. So I decided to do some research on how food is addicting and things you can do to kind of break your addiction. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. These are your 5 next steps to stop eating junk food. Get more sleep. Now, you already have heard about how sleep affects your mood or your energy level, but a recent study showed that people who get less sleep have more hunger and less ability to fight off eating junk food. Now, I'm not a scientist, and they didn't say this in this study I read, but if we take it back to that dopamine thing, if you're getting less sleep and your mood is already bad and you have less energy, doesn't it make sense that your brain might say, I need some dopamine. Go get me my stuff. Give me my goods. Give me what I want. You need to break your routine, right? So just like I said, every day when I leave work, my body is like, yes, baby. When we going to get our stuff, when we going to get our hit, okay? So that means I need to find something to do in place of that. Now, there's a caveat to that, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video, so stay tuned. This is a fun one, It says that you need to learn to look at the food differently. You need to turn a bliss food into a disgust food. So when you're craving something, you think you want to go buy something, you want to drive through that McDonald's drive-through. It said, imagine all the workers in there sneezing on the food. That is disgusting. And I could see that working if you practice that long and hard enough. But it doesn't have to be McDonald's. Whatever it is, if you like to go get your little Debbie from the Speedway on your way home, imagine the Speedway workers sneezing all over the little Debbies before you went there and bought it. Maybe. There's almost always an emotional component involved when craving junk food or bliss food. So we need to learn stress management. A lot of people, when they hear that word emotional component or emotional eater, they think you eat when you're sad or you're depressed, but you have many emotions, including happiness. Sometimes you want to eat when you're happy, but for these purposes, we're talking about things like stress and anxiety. So we need to learn some stress management, and I'm going to read some tips for you I found in an article. It says, take a walk, do yoga, do something creative like painting, journaling, or taking some deep breaths. Now, let's get to that caveat I was talking to you about, because while a lot of these things sound like they could work, like to imagine people sneezing on the food, I never tried that. I plan on doing that. Some of the things I have tried and they do work, but they're not a magic pill. You also have to be doing the work. I can tell you about a situation where I did that change your routine thing. And I said, instead of going to McDonald's, I'm going to get off work and I'm going to read a book because I love to read. It makes me feel good. It's relaxing. It's de-stressing. It stimulates my brain. I love it. It gives me dopamine. So I said, that's where I'm going to get my dopamine from. But then, when I got to reading the book, my body said, what really, really be good? What would really be the cherry on top now that you've read this book? If you go get some food, you go buy something. So even then, even though I broke that immediate chain reaction, I had to get in there and say, no, right? I still had to do the work. So keep that in mind. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Remember that your worth is undeniable. Claim your right to your worth right now.